In what may be the fastest start to one of my airline reviews ever, I present to you the 767-300 that will be taking me to Washington, D.C. this morning. As I run to the gate to catch this flight, I've got to give thanks, as always, to longtime channel sponsor Surfshark for making this video possible. See, I told you I had to run. What's up, everyone? My name is Scott. I run a little airline blog called SANspotter.com, and I am running late. I just arrived at LAX on a flight up from San Diego, and I knew I was taking a risk by attempting to catch an 8 a.m. flight to Washington Dulles out of Los Angeles. It was a risk I was willing to take, though, because this is a flight being operated by a 767-300, which features the all-new Polaris business class product. I've been looking forward to this, and I think I'm going to make it. If you're curious, no, United does not market flights to Washington Dulles as a premium transcon route like they do for some of the JFK and EWR flights. That meant no complimentary lounge access, which was fine for me considering that I had no time for it. Or did I? Somehow I lucked out and managed to show up at the gate before they initiated the boarding process, which is not really good for United because, well, now I have time to complain that I didn't get lounge access with this ticket. Before getting to the boarding process for this flight, let's go back in time approximately 2 hours to when I had just arrived at the San Diego airport to catch the flight up to LAX. Knowing that I had a handful of business emails to reply to this morning, and that I wouldn't have any time at LAX to do it, I launched Surfshark, hunkered down, and got busy. Most of you already know that it's my VPN of choice, and I depend on it heavily whenever I'm on public Wi-Fi like I am here at the San Diego airport. Why? Well, it's simple. It runs totally in the background on my devices, doing its thing without me even noticing. It allows me to browse the internet privately so that no one can steal my data. It will allow me to change my IP address to prevent tracking from one website to the next, and it'll help block ads and malware. The best part? It's insanely fast. I can't even tell that I'm using a VPN. It's also extremely easy, and if you want to experience this for yourself, now's the time. Surfshark is offering new subscribers an insanely good deal right now of 83% off plus, get this, an extra 4 months added on top of that free of charge, which is insane. The only way to get in on this deal is to use the promo code SCOTT in conjunction with the link in the description below. But you gotta act fast because this deal is not going to last. Anyway, thanks to Surfshark being so fast, I was able to get everything done that I needed to this morning with plenty of time to spare. Maybe I could have done this all up at LAX after all. If I had lounge access this morning, I'd be showing you what I ate for breakfast instead of my boarding pass. Whatever, I'm over it. Boarding was just a few minutes late, which was fine by me since it gave me the opportunity to chill out and decompress from the stress of not knowing if I was going to make this flight or not. Now my attention turns to Polaris and seeing firsthand whether or not it's going to live up to all my expectations, and believe me, I've been hearing lots of good things. Seriously, everyone's been telling me that I need to try this, so yeah. And here we are. I actually made it. I'll tell you what, the stress of the morning so far seems to have been worth it because, well, wow. Seat 9A. I haven't even sat down yet, but I already know that this is going to be a great experience. Would it be too far over the top if I said wow again? To be honest, I don't think I care much for the color combination they chose for the Polaris brand colors, but I'm having a hard time coming up with any other criticisms yet. This is really nice and incredibly private. Looks like we've got some decent storage here. I'll try that out later. But yeah, I just can't really get over how nice this is. How did I not know about this? The seat controls integrated into the seat rail is really nice. I'm definitely going to have to play with that later. And I'm not really sure I agree with the choice of materials here for the shelf. It kind of looked like it was covered in dirt at first. Speaking of dirt and grime, I'm pretty sure the LAX cleaning staff hates my guts by now for continually calling them out for doing a half-assed job. Anyway, I still haven't thought about what I'm going to put in here yet. The only thing that I've brought on board with me today are a change of underwear and some expensive cameras, things I'm not willing to lose, so maybe keeping everything in plain sight is best. But yeah, United 767-300 Polaris Business Class is surprisingly nice so far. I'm really digging this. I was actually planning to make a video about how United needs to step up their game to compete with Delta and JetBlue, but it seems to me that they're holding their own just fine. Maybe the food will be bad. United can't possibly be serving good food in business class these days. Or can they? Okay, so let's talk about price as we push off the gate here. Much to my surprise, Polaris Business Class, at least on domestic flights, isn't as expensive as you might think it would be. Yes, a last-minute booking from Los Angeles or San Francisco to New York will probably cost as much as a decent used car, but there are very competitive deals to be had if you can plan ahead. Not only that, my seat on this flight to Washington, D.C. today was not sold as premium Polaris business class. My ticket said first class, and it was priced right in line with other first-class offerings on narrow-body aircraft such as the 737 and A321. This just happened to be a Polaris-equipped 767 being put on a non-Polaris routing, and that is how I ended up in this seat for such a low price. Of course, that also meant that I didn't get lounge access, or an amenity kit, or proper pillows and blankets, but I'm willing to give all of that up to sit up front like this for a 5-hour flight over to the East Coast. I just hope there's food. I just looked it up as I was recording this voiceover, and the last time that I was on a 767-300 was way back in 2018 with Iceland Air. Hard to believe it's been that long. Something else really interesting to see is all these container ships anchored offshore near Long Beach. If you've been expecting a package from China, you're just gonna have to be patient. Anyway, back to this Polaris thing. First things first, I'm gonna start off with the headphones. No, they don't look as nearly as nice as what we got in JetBlue Mint recently, so my expectations of sound quality are pretty low here. Which ended up being a really smart way to approach this because they sounded terrible. Oh well. Looking at the video entertainment... The hell? Okay, well, hold on a second. Alright. Looking at the video Come on! Whatever. Here's a nice view of the landscape below while I wait for the system to reboot. Again. There we go. I think? Maybe. It seems to be much more stable now, and I've got to say, when it's working, the United onboard entertainment system is as good as any other that I've experienced lately. You just gotta be gentle with it. Water. As usual, boring choice, I know, but that's just the kind of guy I am. And check out the adjustability of these tray tables. Interrupting my thorough demonstration of tray table adjustability this morning is this plate of eggs with potatoes and sausage. It may not look like much, at least compared to what JetBlue is serving these days, but I was actually pleasantly surprised by this. Oops. The quality of the food was pretty good. It seemed really fresh, and it was hot, and it was far better than anything I could possibly make at home. How's that for a ringing endorsement? Honestly, it was a good breakfast, and about on par with what I was expecting. The other option was waffles, by the way, which you will see in my next video, and spoiler alert, the eggs are a far better choice. Anyway, the fact that I ate everything on my tray is the best way to summarize what I thought about the meal service. I'm really liking United Polaris Business Class so far. What's next? Come on. You just had to know that the Lou review was what's next. And not like it really matters or anything, but it was surprising to see that the Polaris lavatory isn't any different than the others at the back of the plane. Some of you won't care, some of you will, but there you go. I've got a feeling that seat comfort is what most of you will be interested in, though, so let's put this to the test. A minor adjustment here, and this isn't bad. It doesn't help that I'm feeling annoyed with how little noise cancellation is happening with these headphones, though. I mean, how comfortable can I really get if I'm stewing over the fact that I can't hear what I'm watching? This is a problem. Whatever. I'd rather take a nap than watch a movie anyway, so this is a good opportunity to test out the lie-flat seat. Unfortunately, it didn't go very well. The headrests are rock hard, and the blankets they provide are about as thin as one-ply toilet paper. I tried my best, though. It wasn't graceful, but dang it, I was determined to make this work. Screw it. I give up. Maybe the noise-canceling headphones have improved since the last time I had them on? Nope. I'm just going to end this segment as gracefully as I can by saying this. I complain a lot. I know. Well, that went by really fast. We're on the descent now into Washington Dulles, and I was honestly disappointed by that. Yes, I complained a lot about the seat, but come on. Complaining about airline seats is my job, and I try my best to be as honest as possible about my experiences. And if you like that sort of brutal honesty, I'd highly recommend checking out both Neil and Simon, two of the most honest and thorough airline reviewers on YouTube. Links in the description below. Now, hang on for dear life because, well, this is it. I don't mean to sound morbid, but after all these years of flying, I still can't stop thinking of worst-case scenarios when coming in for a landing like this. I think I really need to stop watching those aircraft disaster videos on YouTube. Anyway, welcome to Washington Dulles Airport. We have survived the landing, and it looks like a beautiful afternoon. And I just want to reiterate what I was saying about the complaints I was making earlier. No, this wasn't a perfect experience. Honestly, no airline experience is. But when it comes right down to it, Polaris Business Class on the 767-300 is a very good and very competitive product. I would fly this again, no hesitation, no questions asked. And as a matter of fact, I did the very next day. That was on the 787-8 though, and that video is coming soon. Thanks as always to my amazing patrons for their continued support. Aaron Slater, Naomi Slivko, Riley Wingo, and everyone else. You're awesome. Oh, and how cool is this livery? Let's just end it on that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.